Welcome back, Fantasy Fiction Fanatics. How are you guys doing today? I hope you are doing really well. And it's really great to be able to sit down and talk with you guys again today. We are actually going to be discussing some more fantasy anime, but before we get into that, I really just wanted to ask you guys a question. If you guys like musicals or not. I'd love to know if you guys like musicals because I really like musicals. I've watched them even when I was a little kid. Love them a lot. But I haven't watched, well, I hadn't watched, because I have now, Into the Woods, which is one about fairy tales and stuff like that. So I really recently discovered this one. I knew about it, never watched it though, and just decided, hey, sounds like it could be fun, let me give it a try. And now I've got some of the songs, one in particular, which is my favorite, stuck in my head. And if you've seen this musical, I would love to know what you think about it. Or if you just like musicals in general, I'd love to know which ones are your guys' favorite, because I like a lot of them. Phantom of the Opera, Man of La Mancha, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. More of them are so good. Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat. There's so many good ones out there. So if you like musicals, I would love to hear about that. I know that's not really fantasy related, though Into the Woods is fantasy related. It's about fairy tales and magic, and it's a lot of fun. So technically that one does fit under the fantasy discussion here. I know the other ones don't necessarily, but I'd still love to hear about them if you are a musical fan like I am. And if when you watch them, you then get the songs stuck in your head, because that happens to me every time. And it's been going on for when did I watch it? I think I watched it on Tuesday? So, no, it was on the weekend. I think it was Sunday. So that would be the majority of this week that I've had the song stuck in my head. But it's so good, and then it makes me want to listen to it, and then I listen to it, and then it's more stuck in my head, and it's just a never-ending cycle. But anyway, if that happens to you too, let me know. Just love to hear about that. Anyway, what you really came here for is discussions of fantasy anime. So let's go ahead and get into that. I thought it would be fun. I know I've done a couple other ones of recommendations of fantasy anime, but those are all ones that I have seen before or that are older. And recently, not that all of these are going to be brand new. That's not true. They're not all brand new. But I have in general been keeping up with more relevant anime as it's coming out. Been not usually the one to watch anime just as they come out, but I have been watching it more recently, so I would love to go ahead and recommend some ones that I've watched that are newer, or at least new to me. Some of these I think are a couple years old, but I just recently discovered them, and then some of them are within the last year or two that I have been watching. So just wanted to recommend these and hear if you guys have watched any of them and know your thoughts and opinions and yeah, all the above. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one I want to recommend is Solo Leveling. And I know this one was really, really popular when it was coming out. I think this came out earlier this year, if I remember correctly, January, or I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was this year. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that long ago that this one came out. It's really, really good. The main character is, it's in this world where, people awaken to their abilities, and those abilities are stuck at a certain level, except for our main character ends up having something happen to him, and his levels change. And so I think that's probably why it's called Solo Leveling, is because only one person that's actually leveling. But it's super, super good if you like those animes that involve levels that are kind of very similar to gaming type mechanics. But this is not in a game. This is a real life scenario. It's not like you get stuck in a game or anything. But it's super interesting. The characters are really great. I really like that it has different elements of what this world is and how he's operating outside of it, and how you wonder what's going to happen in terms of where he's going to end up. I know that season 2 is supposed to be coming out pretty soon. I'm really excited about that, and So yeah, definitely great one to recommend. You'll watch it really quick. The ones that people I've recommended it to watch it so fast and get pretty absorbed. So hopefully you enjoy this one as well. Second one, I know for certain this one came out this year for sure. I don't remember which season it was in, like the season of anime coming out. But I think it was the season after Solo Leveling. I think so. And this is called Kaiju No. 8. This is also another one that was really popular when it was coming out. Like, it was one of the most excited releases or whatever for that section. And Kaiju No. 8 is about this world that has things called kaijus, which are these monsters that can come and attack. And there's obviously measures in place for that, including a force that is meant to fight these monsters and these kaiju. And the main character is someone who's getting older, and he is in his last year before the cutoff on when you can apply to be in this. I'm so sorry. If you can hear that, that is my very loud dryer that has an annoying sound that I cannot turn off when it is finishing up. It might go off again. I'm so sorry if you could hear that. I don't know if you can, but if you did, I'm so sorry in advance. It's so obnoxious. Anyway, what was I saying about Kaiju No. 8? He's in the last year before he can get the cutoff to be able to apply to this squad or this division of being able to fight the kaiju. And that's his dream, is he really wants to get into this force. So he ends up applying again. And the twist is that he kind of, this is not a spoiler, this happens in the very first episode, but he kind of has something happen to him where he then turns into a kaiju himself. So super interesting, super really cool. I would say if you're not into gore and like, more intense kind of things like that, this actual anime overall I don't think is super gory. But the first episode, sorry, my dryer's going off again. I think this will be the last time. Ooh, okay, good. It turned off. We're safe. Anyway, sorry about that. We should be uninterrupted now. If you're into gore, or not into gore, sorry. If you're not into gore, then this first episode is going to be maybe a little bit uncomfortable. I know for me it was kind of uncomfortable, just because before the character gets into, or not gets into, but tries to go for this recruitment thing, he is part of a different force that like cleans up the body parts after the other force kills them, if that makes sense. So they're like cleaning up the streets and like trying to, and these things are giant, like they're giant, they tower over the buildings and stuff like that. So it's quite messy and it's kind of gross. So the first episode does set the tone of like it's going to be a bit more gory, graphic kind of anime. The first episode was the only one I had an issue with. The rest of them is not that gory, not that graphic, not that uncomfortable feeling. So just be aware the first episode might set the tone of like, this is not something that you're comfortable with, but the other episodes are not on that scale. So just be aware in case that's something that you do or don't like, or might feel uncomfortable and not sure if you want to continue. Just putting that one out there. Okay, the next one, if you actually watch this, or if you've seen this, or if you do end up watching this, you might think this is really silly. But the next one is called Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle. And this one, I know for certain is not from this year. I think it's from a couple years ago, but I just discovered it. And it's definitely not a super exciting anime in terms of like, there's not much action or adventure in it. In fact, depending on what kind of person you are, you might find it very repetitive, but I love it. It's literally this princess who gets kidnapped by the demon king and is imprisoned her to try and like lord that over the humans in their war. And she doesn't care that she's been this prisoner for these demons at all. Like, you can tell that she could wipe them out if she really put her mind to it. Just watch it, you'll find out what I mean very quickly. But what she does is she just cares about sleeping. That's all she cares about. She goes out of her, like, she finds ways to, like, escape her jail cell in every episode, and she finds different ways to, like, make her stay more enjoyable. Either, like, you know, new bedding, new things that she is, like, interested in for sleeping, like nightwear, or a bath that she wants to take before sleeping, or anything you can think of that's related to sleeping. She is on the hunt for it, and she, like, roams this castle trying to, like, solve these missions of getting this better sleep, or whatever she envisions is going to make it so she sleeps better or has a more luxurious time sleeping. And it's hilarious. It's really, really good. It's kind of dumb, but it's really good. And this hero is, like, trying to save her, and so you see, like, sometimes, like, the hero who's, like, journeying to try and save her, and there's some really funny lines. It's not for everybody. I already know that right off the bat. It's not going to be for everybody. But if you think that this premise sounds kind of fun and you don't mind episodes that have similar concepts, like, it's not, it has a formal, every episode is kind of formulaic. So some people might not like that either, or find it too repetitive. But it's super funny. If you're looking for just a calm, fun anime, or even something that maybe you just want to throw in an episode here and there just to have something easy going, I binged it and I enjoyed it. I did not get hold of it, but some people might need more space, or just adequate, like, time in between, just because they're so similar. But it's really fun. It does have some progression. It does have characters that evolve, and relationships that evolve, but it is pretty similar in each episode. So check it out. Let me know. For those of you who end up liking it or already like it, please let me know. I would love to know your thoughts on Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle, because it's really fun. Okay. Next one is Black Butler, and this is one that I have liked a long time. Obviously, that one's not new. It's been around for a long time, and I own several seasons of this show. But the new season is really, really good. I'm really happy that they're still making it. I mean, obviously, this anime was made originally a long time ago, and they're still continuing to make seasons, and I love it. It makes me so happy. The newest season, the public school arc, so good. Oh my gosh, each season gets better and better on these newer ones especially, and kind of reverting back to the manga storyline and stuff like that. So really super good. So I really encourage you, if you like Black Butler, check out the new season. If you don't like Black Butler or haven't watched it, well, if you don't like it, then you don't like it. But if you haven't watched it and you don't know Black Butler, watch it. It's so good. Season 1 is great. Season 2, I'll admit, is not as good as Season 1 in my opinion. But then Season 3 and 4, the OVAs and the movie are all excellent. So highly, highly, highly recommend. If you don't know what it's about this kid who makes a contract with a demon in order to try and find out who killed his parents and get revenge on them. And that demon ends up acting as his butler, as way of serving him until he reaches his goal. So super excellent. Love it. Love it, love it. So much. I like Grell. If you've watched Black Butler, tell me what you think about Grell. He makes me laugh all the time. Anyway, let me move on and talk about How to Love Your Elf Bride. This is another one that's just a fun, cute one. So if you like romance and you like just fun, cute, it's kind of like a slice of life. It actually is kind of like a slice of life. Animes, this one is for you. It is about and this one's also new. I think this one came out the same time as Solo Leveling. It's either that or Kaiju. It came out one of those times. So it's earlier this year. And How to Love Your Elf Bride is all about this magician, sorcerer. I don't remember what term they actually used for him, but magic wielder who ends up going to this auction where this elf was being auctioned off as a prize, and he decides he really wants to, I don't think he basically kind of falls in love at first sight in many ways, and buys her, spending a whole lot of money to buy her. and he treats her really nice and is not wanting to like enslave her at all. He just really liked her and wanted to give her a good life. And he's like a prickly kind of like, seems like he should be the bad guy kind of vibe, but she obviously finds out that he's actually pretty nice and he's just pretty awkward. And that's where all these misgivings come from. And so yeah, just that's how they start their living together in his big manor, and it kind of evolves from there, and just how they interact with each other. Super cute, super fun, lighthearted. Definitely check it out if you like romance and you like easygoing, kind of more slice of life type anime. It's very cute. I love it. How much more times can I say it's so cute? But it's true. I feel like I'm saying a lot of the same things and going round and round in circles, but I don't want to spoil anything, and it's hard to tell you more what I think other than to tell you it again, if that makes any sense. So, yeah. Last one, last but not least, is The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. I really enjoyed that one. This one also came out, I think this one came out at the same time as, again, it's either Solo Leveling or Kaiju. It's like the Elf Bride one. I think that it also came out at the same time as Elf Bride, if I'm remembering correctly. But either way, it came out earlier this year. And this one is really good. It's an isekai. Obviously, isekais are very popular. Most of the animes that come out seem to be isekai nowadays. But this one is about these 3 people get pulled into this new world to be summoned as a hero, or in this case, heroes. But the third person was just happened to be around them and just got caught in the magic and was not actually summoned as a hero. But he has the rare ability to do healing magic. And he ends up getting taken in by this really tough, like, sergeant type woman who's in charge of the healing squad that would go like on fights and stuff like that. So the 2 heroes stay in the castle to try and learn how to be heroes and to fight the demons. And he gets pulled away to get trained as a healer. And it's super good. He goes through a bunch of rough times, much more of a rough time than the heroes do, let's be honest. But it's also really good with really good characters. I like the main character a lot. I like the premise. There is a reason it's called The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic, which you discover in the season, so I don't want to talk about that too much. But it has really good concept, really good characters. It's just a blast. In terms of English, I just realized I should have probably let you know in terms of English on these. Black Butler had a dub, and The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic had a dub, and How to Love Your Elf Bride does now have a dub. I know I watched it in Japanese, but I know that it has a dub now. Sleepy Princess also was in English. I'm not sure about Solo Leveling does too. It didn't when I watched it, but now it does. I do know that because I do recommend some of these to family members and they only watch in English. So I know that they watched that one. And Kaiju number 8 also has a dub now because they watched that as well. So that means that all of these have dubs. I just realized I went through my whole list. Amy, get it together. So all of these have dubs now. I haven't listened to all of them in dub. I watched some of them in Japanese, but all of them should have dubs and be in English if you like dubs. I know The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic and Black Butler and Sleepy Princess all have good dubs. The other ones I didn't watch in English, so I can't 100% vouch for that, but I do know if English is a requirement for you, you got it. I watched these all on Crunchyroll, so that's also a good place to watch it. And I guess that's all I really have to say about all of these, huh? I guess this is the end. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. Those are my newest suggestions. I do have obviously some more that I've been watching recently, but these are some that I wanted to start with, some that I know I Kaiju and Solo Leveling are supposed to be having more seasons come out soon. So hopefully this will inspire you to watch the first season and then be ready for the second season. If you've watched any of these already, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. And if you plan to watch any of these, please let me know as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts on which ones you find most interesting. And if you end up watching them, let me know what you think. I hope these are good recommendations for you. I hope that you enjoy them. And I will hopefully get to hear some of your recommendations as well. All right. I guess I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.